Well done, Craig. You little bastard. Oh, it's been a long day, Craig. Don't you know? I suppose you do know. Because that's all you do is just long day it. Every day, don't you? Just people to help. People to see. I suppose whether or not they've got a camera on or not, you see it all, don't you, Greg? You little staring teddy bear son of a bitch. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Enjoying a shamrock shake. And your little circle with the green background looks like you're drowning in a shake. I hope you drown in your milkshake, Ted. Greg. I almost said Ted. That's not the same thing. But you will be the same forever, won't you, Greg? Why can't you be more like your brother Greg? He's quite the chatty fellow. Still nothing, eh, Craig? After all these years. Well, we'll see who has the last laugh, Craig. It will be me. I will last laugh. For you never laugh at all. Not even a little singular, little, just the tiniest little lift of the corner of your mouth. You just, man, your lips just stay flat as a pancake forever, don't they? It's kind of weird, like, because they could have, whoever made you could have given you like a little bit of a smile. So then you're kind of always happy. Or even just a little bit of a frowny face. At least you feel something, eh, Craig? But no, no, an eternity of blandness. No malcontent, no melancholy, no malaise, no miraculous wonder, just your little eyes staring out without a single care or joy in the world. It is your prison. It is your hell. And that I don't think you deserve. But, I mean, it's better than what some people get, I suppose. Just an eternity of nothingness. But there you shall stay. Until the next time. Which could be right now. I mean, right now could be the next time. I'm going to take a quick little bite here. Craig, have you ever had fried cauliflower? It's actually quite good. A little bit of honey garlic on there. It's quite tasty, actually. Craig, what would you like St. Peter to say when you enter the gates of heaven? You give it some thought. You give it some thought. I'm going to take another bite. You're just not sure. Nothing. I see. You don't think you're going to heaven, do you? Well played, Greg. Well played. And you are still just nonplussed. You're just like, yeah, I guess. Well, so, are you guys gonna do the thing? Yeah, you are just so dour. Wait, dour? Let's look that up, Greg. What does dour mean? So I thought that, oh fuck, how do we even spell dour? D-O-W, no, that's, I don't think that's how it, no. Try D-O-U-R, like sour, but with a D, D-O-U, but for crying out loud. A person, expression, or manner that is stern, harsh, sullen, or gloomy. Oh, okay, sullen. I think sullen might be for you, Craig. Gloomy, not so much gloomy. Though I'm not entirely sure if sullen and gloomy are exactly synonyms. But I like the sound of it. Yes, you're very sullen, aren't you, Craig? Nothing amuses you. Nothing, nothing is to your, nothing is to your distaste, nor is it to taste. But then you can't really taste it all, can you, Craig? You can't taste the bloody thing. Look at you with your little microphone. Craig, if your microphone was made out of chocolate, would you eat it? Craig? Craig? Nothing. Nothing at all. You know, your little microphone there kind of looks like the moon. If you had a little moon ball there made of cheese, would you eat it, Craig? Yes, I think you would. Good show, old boy. Once again, good show.
Is it connected to the room?
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, my mom called me like right as we were jumping on. And I'm like, I did tell her I'd give her a baby update, so I might as well. The baby is good. And I have a photo.
Oh boy.
You can see it looks more like a baby now
Oh.
and less like a blob.
Which is
But that baby was moving.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I
early.
know that they at this stage, but Gabriel was like, I didn't know they did that. And I was like, yeah, like they started moving like 2 weeks ago, I think is when they start like moving their
Wow.
joints because they can like actually move like their elbows and knees.
Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that they'd be able to do that so early.
Yeah, their joints are like fully developed now. Baby is the size of a Tamagotchi. So that's what I am currently keeping alive is a Tamagotchi baby.
Okay. What a specific description. But it is
That's
apt, I suppose.
yeah, my little app is like, it's a Tamagotchi.
Little baby.
And last week it was a Beanie Baby tag
Ha!
because all of my stuff is like 90s toys.
Right, right.
And Tori's like,
That's
Tori was asking me, she's like, why aren't you doing fruit? And I was like, okay, because when I looked at fruit, it told me like last week the baby is the size of a lime, and this week it's like it's the size of a plum. And I'm like, I've seen some really big limes, and that just like does not feel right.
right.
What do you mean it's the size of a lime?
I find it weird that she even brought that up. Well, why didn't you do fruit? Like what? Wait, what is fruit generally the norm?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but I feel like other stuff is fun.
Yeah,
Like, why, if I can compare the baby to toys of the 90s, why not?
exactly. In
Yeah.
a few more
And I
weeks,
asked,
it'll be the tail end of a skip it.
yeah, I was asking Gabriel to guess this morning. I was like, what do you think the baby is now? And he's like, a troll doll. And I was like, that is way too big.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
And then he's like, I almost went with Furby, but that's the opposite end. And I was like, yes, Furby is the end goal.
Right, right. Furby's
That's where we want to end up is
developed.
with a Furby size. And
Hopefully
maybe not
with
as heavy,
yeah,
you know,
or as horrifying. You know, like the
and
big
waking you
weird
up in the
eyes.
middle of the night, like, feed
Yeah.
me. Or like talking to itself. And it's like, let's party. And you're like, no,
Meh, meh,
let's not
meh.
party. No.
You can hear the eyes doing the clicking and the mouth moving. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Would you like to play? Let's sing a song
Mine,
together.
yeah, mine used to scare the hell out of me in the middle of the night. Oh,
I mean, can
Terrifying.
you just turn them off?
Yeah. And my friend did that, and hers still came on in the middle of the night when we were all like asleep over together. It was horrifying.
That's fucked up. That sounds,
Yeah, we
to
like
be
threw it in
fair,
the closet.
that sounds like a dad prank. Like, good night, girls. And before he leaves, click.
Like turns it on.
Yep. And then he sneaks out. You're all about to fall asleep.
Have you
It's
seen
3
the
a.m.
one with the dad where he's like, my daughter and her friends are using a Ouija board upstairs, and he's like at the electrical panel and like flicking the lights on and off, and then you
Yeah,
just hear screaming.
that's a good one.
I'm like, that is a good dad prank. That's funny.
That is a perfect prank. That is like
Because he
nobody
knows
really.
like no one's getting hurt. He's just scaring them.
Yeah, that is like the solid definition of a perfect prank, where you get a good rise out of people, nobody gets hurt, nothing gets destroyed, and
Yeah.
it's something that I think people could easily just laugh off. Like, and it becomes a good story. They're like, remember
Yeah.
when I did that thing? And she's like, oh my god, dude. Yeah.
I can't
It's a
believe he did
perfect
that
prank.
to me. It was so scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anywho,
fucking people, I swear.
they're assholes. But not the people who listen to this podcast.
No, because we love our peace.
I was like, that clicked in my mind, and I'm like, that feels like an opening to me.
That's the opening right there. Fucking people.
Oh yeah, fucking assholes. But not the people who listen to this. Welcome everybody.
No, we
Thank
love
you
our
for being
people.
here. This
Thank
is
you.
this is Peculiar Pairings. My name is Matt.
I am Celine, and welcome.
Yeah,
And
this is our
before we dive into everything, Matt,
yeah.
I actually want to show something to you that I've been working on
Oh, okay.
because I've been going through all of our like listener locations.
Oh, no
And I
kidding.
started this a while ago, but I've like revamped it. So I want to show this to you where you can see all of the different spots where
Wow.
people have listened to us.
Holy
We
crap.
have people like, I mean, we have tons of people in the US, which is
That
not surprising.
is
We have
more than
some
I would have
listeners
expected.
in Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador,
Brazil? What the hell?
Argentina.
New
Yeah,
Zealand?
Brazil is like popping.
Wow. What the hell? It's so
We have a
weird.
few in Africa, like South Africa, Tunisia. I
Morocco?
saw one the other day from Kenya, but could not get like a more distinct location.
Wow.
We have quite a few in Europe,
Huh.
spanning across Spain, France, Germany, Netherlands, Italy, Romania,
Romania?
Sweden,
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Look, it says
the
some of it
UK.
upstairs
Shout
like
out to my
Copenhagen.
UK homies.
Woo! I was gonna say you probably actually know people there.
I do know quite a few people there. I don't know if they listen, but if they do, I love you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all our listeners. I want to be clear. I love every single one of
I
you.
think people will understand if you make a particular shout out to people in the UK. I think that'd be
For anyone who does not know, I did study abroad there, and I was there for like 6 months completely on my own, just like flying by the seat of my pants doing it,
oh
and it was
wow.
great.
What?
We got a few
Okay.
in
You didn't
China,
go.
Philippines.
Wow. So you didn't go to the UK like with other like schoolmates or anything? Like you just kind of.
No,
I didn't know that
I
part
was
of
like
it.
the furthest west when
Oh
I went.
wow.
So like the closest person who was from the US with me there was from Kentucky.
Huh.
So and then like
And that was just a
everyone else
coincidence.
was
Like you didn't
yeah.
know then. Wow. Okay.
No, no one a few of the people I went with had like other people from their same school,
Okay.
and most of them were more East Coast. So I was the only person from like West.
Central. Yeah. Yeah.
And uh the thing about it was that I basically like did my own like build your own study abroad program. So
Wow.
my school had never like worked with the university that I went with. So it was like definitely more of a challenge just because they're like,
Sure.
we don't really know how to like transfer everything in the right way, but like we'll figure it out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
You'd
like,
mentioned that you'd done that before. I didn't realize you basically like not just were you alone, but you essentially had to build the program because you're like, yeah, we don't do
yeah.
this, but I have to
And
do it.
I don't know if they ended up partnering with them more after that or not, but I at least like opened the door.
Nice.
At least opened it a little bit.
Yeah.
And like once I got there, it was great. But like I like getting over there, like initially was like I once I like got on the plane, I was like, oh my God, I'm like actually doing this. And
I
then when
can
I got there, I
imagine,
was like, what if
yeah.
I can't find where I'm supposed to live?
Oh no.
Because I lived on campus in like a flat and I was like, do I actually know like how to get to where I'm going?
Yeah.
I figured it out, but
I figured it out.
it was very much like if I'll get there eventually.
Wow. That is pretty impressive. I don't think I would have been able to manage. Even if mine had been like an established program, I probably still would have been lost.
Yeah. Some of the other people who that were on the East Coast, they arrived there like a few hours before me and a few other people. And they're like, yeah, and they got all of us in a car together and we're all like in this car suddenly driving on the other side of the road and we're all like, "Oh my God, we are all going to die."
Oh my god.
And I'm like, I probably would have thought the same thing just because like you just got off the plane, you're jet lagged, you're just trying to figure out what you're even doing and then like
Yeah.
that's your next experience and you're like, "Oh."
Right. And it's you would like to think that it's essentially the same, but I can imagine it would feel so out of place. It's just so well, literally literally backwards. It would be hard
Yeah.
to kind of acclimate instantly to it being so different.
Yeah. But
Did
yeah,
you
I wanted
drive?
to share that map with
Well,
you.
well, thank you. That was cool as hell. I like all the little alien heads too.
I thought the alien heads were like fitting for like different
Yeah.
listener spots. Just it just felt right to me, so
I
that's what I
agree.
did.
I think it was right. Well, speaking of doing things that maybe be like are a little uncomfortable and that like sort of a fish out of water experience, Celine, what is our topic for this week?
We are talking about the zone of death. Dun,
Yes.
dun, dun.
And that brings us to our pairing, which, as I was thinking about this, I kept thinking about, I know I talked to someone about this recently, and I am quite certain that what I thought it was is not what it was. But then when I was thinking about this, I'm like, I don't have anything else to go on, so I'm going with what's in my brain. And then I remembered thinking, I'm pretty sure it was you I talked to at the end of the last episode when you
Oh
told
yeah,
me
yeah,
about
yeah.
this one. So then it's even
Yeah.
more dumb because like you explained to me why I was wrong, and so I should have had more of an idea of like what to go for. But with that in
That's
mind,
what makes
I'll
the
just
pairings fun.
yeah. Well, I'm glad they're fun because for me they mostly feel embarrassing. But
Okay,
this
so
so this
I'm gonna
week
brainstorm.
yes. Okay. So yeah, you think about it while I describe that we are having this one's pretty loosey goosey. A lot of them are kind of like this, but it's basically just the hottest hot wing that you can like bear to eat. And I will go into the description of like what mine are, but I ended up going to Buffalo Wild Wings and I mostly got some teriyaki because that's my favorite.
Eat us.
Also, yeah, also
That's
shout
what I
out
got.
for oh, good, yeah. That like I don't know, they've been getting a lot of flack lately, but that's pretty good. Like it's just like how I remember when
Yep.
I went there a lot in college. But they have fried cauliflower now, and it's pretty
Yeah.
good. I was surprised. Yeah, I got an order of it with honey garlic sauce. It's very good. But I ended up getting their one of their hottest sauces on some of the wings, which I have not eaten yet because the hottest I have ever gone there. I think I've technically had a medium, but the highest I've ever ordered is mild. I am not a spice person. And so I figured this was like my moment to try the kind of like Hot Ones challenge, so to speak, which I am not trying to imply that these are anywhere near like the final dab of that show. I have no idea how bad these are going to
Oh,
be, but I'm not accustomed to it, so they'll probably destroy
yeah.
me, which is why I'm going to eat them a little bit later. But then
I
to oh yeah.
I have the bomb in my house. Not for me.
Oh,
I'm gonna be specific. The
yeah.
bomb was not for me. It was my
Sure.
husband's. And we did that one year with Gabriel and his family. We did like our own like at home hot ones challenge.
Yeah.
And I maybe got to like the fourth one and I was like, I cannot. I need to be done. And Gabriel and his younger sister are like daring each other to like put the bomb like just like with nothing and just like drink
Oh,
it and all this other
oh
stuff.
God, yeah.
And then like once it hits you, he's like he's moving around, he's pacing and he's like, "Oh God. Oh my
Yeah.
God, this is bad." And I'm like, "See, this is why I stopped where I did because I
Yeah.
know my limit and that I cannot do.
Well, and that's kind
I
of
know."
yeah, honestly, that's kind of why I just went like I thought about getting a few different ones that were like scaling it up, but I'm like, once I am ruined by the lower one, I'm not gonna want to try one of the hotter ones. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens.
Yeah.
But that brings us to our pairing because for anyone who's watched Hot Ones, you know that like water doesn't really help. You need something a little thicker, a bit more viscous and soothing. And so we've got a
Yep.
delightful shamrock shake from McDonald's. And I was actually going to try to get a very similar thing from A&W. They do the grasshopper, and
Oh, yeah.
it's very good, but they're not doing it yet. I think they go a little further into March, and I was like, God damn it! But um, the theme still. So I guess the challenge for this then is, do you remember what I thought it was, and how this might pertain to what I thought it was? Or maybe I'm
Uh,
wrong, and it is what I thought it was, and I'm misremembering our conversation entirely.
I feel like, and bear with me here if I am incorrect, is that there is in the ocean what is called like the zone of death where like things just don't survive because of how I see your face and that I am losing you and that
No,
this is very much
no,
not
no, no.
correct. How things like don't have enough oxygen in there. So that's why it's like the zone of death because like nothing in theory is like supposed to survive there. But then like I'm pretty sure stuff does. We just haven't discovered it yet because like the ocean is a giant mystery to us and terrifying.
No, I'm having the reaction I'm having because I swear this is the conversation that we had, but that was the description that you gave me about what it really was. So we might be
No.
on the same page. Okay.
So I'm gonna take a stab at what the pairing is linked to, and then I will explain the why.
Okay.
Um, specifically because of the location and the idea of it being the hottest you can stand, because the zone of death is in Yellowstone, it makes me think of Old Faithful and
Okay.
the fact that the water for the geyser is fucking hot.
Indeed.
So, hot wings.
Got it.
It makes sense.
Sure.
And just the shake, I was just thinking because it would offset the spiciness of the wings.
That was
Not that it actually related to anything.
so okay. So you simultaneously had me going for a second that maybe we were on the same page because I swear to God we had talked about the zone because there is some kind of zone where like nothing lives or like there's no vegetation or something.
Yeah.
Like there are still things that exist, but there's no vegetation. It's so
I think
sparse and it's
it
like
might be called the death zone instead of like zone of death.
I think you're right.
So
Yeah,
like
it's like part
very,
of the
very
yeah.
similar.
Yeah, right, and it's part of the Marianas Trench. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
giving me a weird deja vu. I swear we had the same conversation. But when you said Yellowstone, you immediately locked in that I'm like, oh, we're not on the same page.
Yeah.
'Cause this
Yeah.
is,
So,
if I remember correctly, and we had talked about this, I thought of it as the zone that you hit on Mount Everest, where it is
oh,
so
right.
thin Yeah, it's
The
so
oxygen,
thin
there's
that
not
you
enough
can't.
oxygen.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
some people use that zone specifically as a challenge to like go get all the way to the peak and then come back down literally before they suffocate to death. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like fun at all. So
But
my
I feel
Mhm.
like the factor in that would be where you live normally,
Oh, definitely.
because, fun little science fact for you is, so technically,
I think I
I'm
might
gonna
know this
use
one already, but
I'm gonna use you and I as examples
sure.
because I live at altitude
Hmm.
and you live closer to sea level.
Hmm.
I think I don't know if you're, like, at sea level, but you're definitely
Oh,
less
yeah, definitely much lower.
less
Yeah.
significantly than what I'm
R-
used
r-
to, which,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
if you were to look at your blood and my blood under a microscope, I would have a lot more red blood cells than you
Yeah, yeah.
because I live at a higher altitude where there's less oxygen. So
Well, and
my body produces more.
yeah, you were
So it's
born there,
natural
weren't
blood
you?
doping.
Right.
Yeah,
You were, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you
born at
might have a
8,000 feet.
natural. Nice. Born at
Yeah.
8,000 feet, baby. So I actually coincidentally did know that because I visited my buddy Andy who lives somewhat near like an hour away or something.
It's like he lives
I think
close
so.
to us because
Relatively,
is
yeah.
he in Boulder?
I really should know that. But I already don't remember where you live. My brain is wired to a very specific type of details, which is just like
In
really
the
random stuff.
Denver-ish area.
Yeah. Don't
He's
tell
around
anyone.
Denver.
Yeah, yeah, it's he's definitely in a sort of suburb around there, but um he and we went to Red Rock and he's
Yeah.
like we're going to go all the way to the top and he was very
Ha ha ha
specific.
ha.
Yeah, yeah, I'm like you already know.
I laugh at that because I don't even wanna do that. No, thank you.
Oh my god. Well, so he specified I think he just one either wanted to just see me have the experience and or two um like just give me the experience of how different it is because I've been overweight for almost my whole life now and so I'm used to just kind of being the person who lags behind and he was just very
Yeah,
specific of like um if you feel tired, if you feel out of breath, stop. He's like because this isn't just you like being out of shape or anything. Your body is
it's
not
altitude.
conditioned to be here. Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's some bullshit. And so we start going, and I didn't even make it like one flight. And I've had times in my life where I've like run up and down stairs just for exercise, and I'm like, I can go 10 steps. And I think I got to 6 or 7 and had to stop and sit down because I was like, what? What's happening? And he's like, yeah, yeah. And he had this big fucking shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's like,
yeah.
because he knows exactly what the fuck is going on. But
Yep.
then he explained the whole thing to me, and he himself was born in Minnesota, and he explained the whole thing too that like so like you genetically might actually have or I'm not sure if it's like because you're in the womb or I don't know but like people who live in those areas tend to genetically have more oxygen in their blood and if
Oh,
they go to some other region that remains whereas like
yeah.
people yeah yeah I'm
It
like
is
that's what
specific
it's
where you are born and where you
nice.
grow up
Okay, nice.
because, like, for your friend being born in Minnesota, he can kind of
Right.
acclimate, but
Yep.
the minute he goes back to anything with a lower altitude, his body readjusts back to that.
Yeah, which he
Whereas,
also
like,
talked about. Yeah, anytime he
mine does
goes anywhere
not.
for any length of time, yeah, he's like, then I have to come back and basically just feel out of shape for like a week until my body kind of gets used to it again. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I've never heard of that. It's so bizarre.
I've only felt that way once, and that was after studying abroad. I decided I was gonna go for a hike, like, my first week back, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go hike up in Vail, like, before work or, like, on my day off. This'll be fun." And then as I'm, like, hiking up there, I was like, "This is a little harder than I remember it being. I'm a little more out of breath than I'm used to being." I was like, "Oh, this is kind of what people talk about." And even then I felt like it was probably still like fairly mild compared to what most people
Mm.
feel.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also because I'm like, I was living at sea level for 6 months.
Right.
And probably after about, I don't know if it was quite a week or if it was a little bit shorter, like then I felt like normal again and was like, okay, like back to what I'm used to.
Nice. Getting
So
that blood
but
cell count
like,
back to where it needs to be.
yeah, but anytime like we have gone to Minnesota, anytime we're doing anything like physical or any of that, I feel like a fucking superstar because I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Yeah, because you've got so much. Yeah, it's incredible. And I have to admit, the way he described it too is he's like, don't try to push yourself. You've got to slow down. And it really was like walking through water almost, because it was different than just feeling exhausted. It was like your body was gasping for air. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, so like take a moment. And we did make it to the top, but it's quite a view, and I was not a happy camper, and he was very
That's
amused.
okay.
Yeah, and then we went and got a bunch of beer. So
Nice, as you
yeah, it was a
should.
nice time.
The
Yeah,
beer
it
is
was
the reward.
exactly. We made it. It was worth it. It was a lot of fun, and fuck that guy.
Yeah. So definitely not the like death zone that we were talking about today.
No, that was my own personal death zone, which is what brings me to the wings, because I was just thinking like pushing oneself through something that is a challenge that feels, or at least here isn't actually going to be life threatening, but feels like it. So yeah, it unfortunately wasn't really related to the death zone or the zone of death. And I swear to God, the one for Everest is called something similar, but
Yeah.
it's like something like that. But yeah, so that's what it was for me with the wings. And then the shake was partially just like for kind of recovery of the wings. But
Yeah.
I wish we had something slightly different, but I went with Shamrock just because I know that there are going to be McDonald's near both of us. I know that we can both get it. But I was actually thinking like Andy's Mints. And
Oh
Andes are named
yeah.
after a mountain range, and so like if you go too high in mountains, then
Yep.
you'll face lack of oxygen. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Which,
that's what's
to be
that's fun.
fair, with it being in Yellowstone, that is in the Rocky Mountains, so it's in
Okay,
a mountainous region.
yeah,
So
okay, so
not
we kind of
not too far off there. That is actually accurate as far
yeah,
as like the mountainy aspect of it.
as the
And
kids would say these days, six of one, seven of the other. So we
he's six
got that.
seven.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if that's
I
gonna
am
be
going
a
to
good
list my sources real quick before we start
yes, please.
diving into it. I have a few articles from Wikipedia, supremejustia.com, idahocapitalsun.com, an article from Colorado State, and CBS News.
Woo!
Ooh. So, the death zone.
Okay, so
Dun,
what
dun, dun.
really is it? Yeah.
It is a 50 square mile area in the section of Idaho of Yellowstone,
Hmm.
which is kind of as a result of this vicinage clause in our US Constitution, in which this
Oh.
uninhabited area is where a person could theoretically convict a heinous crime
All
and
right.
avoid being indicted. Or you
Okay.
become president, either or.
But whoa, shots fired. Beer, beer, beer. Yeah, no, I have
Yeah.
actually, now that you mention this, I have heard of this before. It's just this
Yeah.
weird
Like
sort of
once you know, you're
legal
like,
loophole.
oh, yes,
Yeah. Hmm.
this.
Interesting. Now I'm very pleased just because I don't know a lot about this, but I know enough to want to know a lot more.
Yeah. So it is like a very rugged, remote area with no roads, pretty minimal trails, and basically nobody lives here and almost nobody camps overnight. Like any of the park rangers in the area, if you're camping in like this section of like the Idaho portion of it, they're like nobody's here. Why? Why are you choosing to be here?
Yeah, why? I mean, solitude.
It's it's a section that like doesn't see a lot of visitors and it's It's not the pretty family Instagram friendly part of Yellowstone, like the main part of the park with like Old Faithful
Mhm.
and the little like wooden walk trails with like the
Yeah.
buffalo where they might run up and kill you if
And
like
it's
they're
right,
free and
yeah.
frisky.
People do not fuck with the buffalo. Like, leave them alone. They don't want to be your friend. They will kill
Bison
you.
are wild animals. They
Mhm.
do not care for you.
They absolutely do not. They
They do
don't care
not.
about you, they don't care for you. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like the kind of sort of wide open place that's like it's sort of part prairie and like valley, and then there's forest kind of higher up. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, so this area is definitely more of like the mountainy terrain that is more difficult to navigate. Even like the park rangers will warn you about this section of Yellowstone because like even they sometimes have a hard time following it and navigating it.
They're like, if you die, we or if you get hurt, we ain't coming to get you. Like you stuck out
Or
here,
it's
boy.
like they may not be able to get you for
Right.
a week or two.
Yeah.
And it is part of the Continental Divide Trail, which goes all the way
Oh.
from Canada to Mexico. And
Oh, cool.
you can walk it. It'll take you 5 months to do it, but you can.
Wow.
And typically, it is so isolated in this section that you generally will not see another person the whole
Mhm.
time
Right, right.
in the zone of death, not on the trail specifically.
Well, and like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's so remote and so empty that if you do see another person, that's a red flag. Like shit's going down. You
Yeah.
better you better hightail it the fuck out of there. You walked in on something you're
So
not supposed to see.
I think the important thing that we need to talk about is the vicinage clause and what exactly that means.
Yes.
And this is a provision of the Sixth Amendment. And Matt, what is the Sixth Amendment?
Oh, well, the very well known Sixth Amendment, of course, is when it's a very misunderstood amendment. First and foremost, it has to do with rights of a citizen and their homestead, and that they have right to their happiness. Sixth Amendment.
No, but
Oh, yeah.
credit for trying.
Thanks.
I put you on the spot because most
Although
people don't know the
I
Bill of
will, and
Rights.
I will say in before you reveal what it is it because I just recently listened to something that had to do with like the First and Second Amendment, and then they talked about the fifth one, but they were going through some of the amendments. Is this one relatively vague? Like is it broad? It can kind of cover a lot
It
of.
can be broad.
Okay, because I think it's the one I'm thinking of where like nobody really even exactly knows what it means. Because I might be thinking of the Ninth Amendment.
You might be thinking of the ninth because the Sixth Amendment is rights regarding trials. So, like
Oh,
a
okay.
speedy trial, public
Oh, damn it.
trial, having an
Okay.
impartial jury,
Sure.
what is considered a jury of your peers, which, as I am learning, is actually not of like people who look like you specifically. It is the peers come from the area of where the crime was committed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I well.
Um,
Oh, okay. Oh.
Having like
All right.
notice that you were being
What?
charged of a crime and being
Because I
having a
guess
confrontation on facing your crimes.
well, and like I guess I always assumed that that was the whole point of like they're not supposed to be knowledgeable of the crime. I thought like they're supposed to be as objective as possible. So don't they want people that aren't knowledgeable of the crime?
Yes, but like the point of it is that they don't want like if your crime is committed, say in Miami, they maybe don't want to be pulling people from like Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
They want to pull it from more of like that localized area, but they want it to be a fair trial with an impartial jury so that they're going to rule out people who are aware of it.
Okay. I see
But
what you. Okay. Yeah. there might be
This
certain
is how you get into
nuances.
like trials being moved to like different areas.
That's what came to my mind. Yeah.
Is that if it is a trial that is too well known, they will move it to a different county that's like a nearby county, but not like across the state.
Right. Which seems like it will be
So,
harder and harder this day and age because information travels so quickly and like so many people become so knowledgeable about it that like I can
yeah.
imagine that's becoming harder.
So it requires that the defendants be tried by a jury and in the state in which the crime is committed,
Okay.
preferably the same county if they can.
Well,
It's
so
it, it all depends.
we're talking about the law and justice and stuff. So one could say that I was actually kind of close.
Yeah, I
That's
will
very
concede to that.
that's very generous of you.
So
Thank you.
part of where we see this is in the Beavers versus Henkel trial. And this is a case in April 11th of 1904.
I didn't realize beavers
And
could sue people. I didn't realize they had like rights.
they are tricky. They
Apparently,
are
well, yeah.
considered pests in some places,
And
like
that's
my
why they're
dad's
fighting.
house.
Well, and that's why they are fighting so hard in the courts to get their rights because they're like, we're property
Yeah.
owners too. Do you see my house over here? I'm a beaver.
So this is kind of where we get the basis for finding a grand jury, in which typically the trial will take place where the crime happened, and the grand jury must be like locally obtained. And
Okay.
in this particular case with Beavers versus Henkel, the warrant was returned not found, like they could not find the person to like give this warrant to. And that was due to like an issue of redistricting, and
Huh.
that ended up being like a whole separate issue.
We're
But
already in the weeds
this
here.
type
Like
of jury
weird legal
selection
shit.
is typical.
Okay.
So even if a case is moved to like different districts, all the people selected have to be like in that local district.
Gotcha.
So an example of this is, and I love going to this example, is Kobe Bryant, where his trial, every single person had to be from Eagle County because that is where the crime
Oh,
took
no
place.
kidding. What did Kobe
Yes.
Bryant do? How did what?
Oh, have I not talked to you about this?
I don't know. I feel like I know enough basketball people that I would have heard. I just
Oh, okay. So
you
this was
might
back
have
in
you
like
might have mentioned it. I mean,
2003 when the crime
oh,
occurred, and the
oh,
trial was in like 2005.
oh,
This is
okay.
before the
Well,
Me Too movement. I'm going to put that out there.
also this
And
was
that,
before I knew as many like basketball people as I know now, so I can understand how this went completely.
yeah, this was like the beginning of his career,
Oh
in
wow.
which
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, I was like,
he
yeah,
was
that was
like,
a while ago.
he was still like very popular. Like he was well known, up and coming in his career.
Hmm.
And he was staying at Cordillera in Edwards. And there was uh someone working there. I can't remember if she worked front desk or where she worked in the hotel, but she was a big fan. Loved basketball, big fan of Kobe Bryant.
Oh,
And she had
this is
asked her
our
boss, she's
dream.
like, "Hey, I know he's checking in, like, can I stay and like come in late tomorrow? Cause like I'd really love to like get to meet him and like have this guest interaction, even though like
Mhm.
up there's lots of rules around like guest interactions with celebrities.
Sure. Yeah.
Lots of
Right.
hotels have them. Like you can't ask for pictures, photographs, autographs, any of that
They are supposed to
because
be
they're
just
on
a
vacation
customer.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, they are supposed to be treated just like everyone else and that you are supposed to, you know, treat
Keep your
them like
shit
regular
together.
people.
Right. Yeah.
So she asked if like she could, have this interaction to like check him in, get him settled, and he invited her back to his room.
Uh-oh.
And she being a fan was like, "Oh my god, like this is so great. Like I get to like meet like I get to like
Yeah.
have more interaction with this person that like I think is really cool." And he had
Mhm.
other ideas as to what being invited back to his room meant.
Right, right, right.
And they settled out of court as far as the rape allegations and all of that.
Okay.
And depending on who you ask in the area, you're going to get different stories. I very much choose to believe her because this was also in a time but when it was really difficult to speak out. She's
Mhm.
speaking out against someone who is very famous, has a lot of money,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, in my opinion, I believe that he bullied him and his like legal team bullied her into settling
I could
so
see
that it
that.
didn't like besmirch his name.
Right, yeah.
So
That I
I
mean, that
personally
seems
think
pretty
Kobe
common.
Bryant was a fucking piece of shit.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, and I'm not trying to treat this lightly. I had no idea. I don't remember hearing about that at all. That's
Yeah,
fucking
it
wild.
was very like hush hush about it.
Well, right, I suppose.
But
Yeah, that was the whole
you
point.
know, being 8 years old and then suddenly like the amount of people in your town has like doubled because there's
Oh, right.
press everywhere.
Okay.
And like
Hmm.
when I would go to like dance and stuff, you'd have like all of these cars in like this random area and like people like looking for ways to like catch Kobe Bryant and you're like, why is there suddenly so much traffic in a place that has like literally none? What is
Yeah,
happening?
that's pretty weird. I can see
And
that
then
being very
everyone's like, "Oh my
confusing.
god, it's because Kobe Bryant's in town." And you're like, "Great. Can I like not take 40 minutes to get to school when it's supposed to take 10?"
Right. First of all, who's Kobe Bryant? And also, I hate him because of
I knew he
traffic.
played basketball. That was all I knew was
Oh,
that
okay.
he played basketball.
You were probably ahead of me.
And I was like, "That's great," except like and then sometimes you'd have like random people in the press being like, "Have you seen him?" And you're like, "No, random stranger, get away from me. I just want to enjoy the library. Leave me alone."
You
I'm
just
just
created
trying to
such a
get a
weird.
snow cone.
Yeah, I'm
at the
at the library. The famously snow cone laden location that is the public library.
we had a different store for snow cones. It was the Nearly Everything store. The pharmacy.
This
Yes.
story has taken so many different turns I was not expecting. Do they
Eagle
sell
County,
everything?
I'm telling you.
Or mostly everything?
Nearly everything.
Nearly. Oh, I apologize. Nearly.
But
They
they
sell
had a snow cone
nearly.
machine, and we would go
Okay.
get snow cones.
Was it a self-serve snow cone?
No, it was not. I wish it was. Not.
Wow, this has been quite the roller coaster of emotion. Even
Yeah, so
at the end, they're like, was it self-serve? No. Like you sounded genuinely really sad. I feel like I just went down a very hurtful time for you. And it's
no,
like all coming back at the moment.
it's more like everyone remembers, like, how much of an inconvenience having this trial was there.
Oh, sure.
Because it's like all of a sudden you have all of these people that are like wanting to take photos of Kobe Bryant and like interview with him, and you're like, oh my God, there's fucking people everywhere and I hate it.
Yeah. I can
When
understand
you're
that.
in a place
Yeah.
that's like not used to that kind of traffic.
Yeah.
And so it's just like inconveniencing everybody. And you're like, oh my God, why?
Oh my god,
That's like
lock him up.
literally all it is.
Yeah. He's like,
Just
"I want
like
him to go to jail
knowing
just so we can get
everything
the hell
took
out of here."
forever.
For sure.
Yeah. So
May he rest in
this
peace.
is where the idea of like where a crime takes place is where like the trial is located, unless like the person cannot have an impartial jury, in
Gotcha.
which
Okay.
that is usually decided by Congress.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
really? Huh.
yeah,
I'll be damned.
it's I think there's like the different levels of like the court judicial system, whether it's like local, state, and higher up.
Yeah.
I
Huh.
don't know all of the circuits. So
Right.
that's typically it is determined through some act of Congress to some degree.
Interesting.
So this leads us to the zone of death loophole,
Yes,
and
this is
that
what I'm familiar with.
the U.S. District Court for the District of Wyoming is currently the only U.S. District Court to have jurisdiction over multiple states. And this
Oh,
is to
right.
include all of Yellowstone as a whole versus this part of Yellowstone in Idaho, this part in Montana, and the rest in Wyoming. It's just Yellowstone as a whole underneath this umbrella,
Got it. So it's not
which,
really yeah, it's not like even mainly in Wyoming, but like the whole territory is considered to be like it's not part of Wyoming, but it's considered to be under the purview of Wyoming, like legally.
yeah,
Interesting.
since even though most of Yellowstone is in Wyoming, part of it goes into Idaho and then like part of it goes into Montana.
Right, right.
So this is kind of more regarding that the federal government has exclusive jurisdiction over the park versus like Wyoming having jurisdiction over the park.
Okay.
So anything that happens in the park crime wise um cannot be persecuted under the state's laws. It has to be under federal government laws,
Interesting.
which I am going to take us on a little bit of a side journey here
Okay. Well, as we
because
dive into
this is like,
Huh?
sorry, what did you want to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, as we dive into this journey of the dead zone, I'm gonna take my first really hot wing and we'll see what happens.
Oh, yes, see how it goes. So this is where we have issues with like the law jurisdiction on reservations, where
Hmm.
you have tribal law versus state law versus federal law. And that being like this whole clusterfuck in which like part of the issue with that is separate in that like the different bodies will not share information. So like the state
Right.
police and like the local police will not share the information they have with like the tribal police or like the federal level of that for the reservation when crime is committed because like the tribe wants to handle it one way, local wants to handle it another, and then federal is like technically supposed to be in charge of it, but like also doesn't necessarily want to take responsibility in some cases.
Hmm.
And it just becomes like a whole thing. And if you ever want to like listen to this and get mad about it, listen to
Mhm.
season 4 of Up and Vanished because like that whole thing up in
Oh,
Alaska is very
yes.
similar.
Mhm.
And like listening to it makes me so mad.
Well, and it is still
So
amazing
mad.
how much like disappearances and like assaults and stuff of indigenous people are just not like paid attention to at all. And it should make you mad.
Well, yeah. So it's kind of that and that like there can be like a lot of lack of accountability where these institutions are like, "Oh, well like we actually aren't in charge of it. It's this other one." And they're like, "No, like this other body's like this other one's supposed to be in charge of it." And they're like just sending you in circles,
Right,
but
right.
then like not sharing information with each other either and it's frustrating. So, in this zone of death, a
Mm.
trial in the district court would normally be held at the federal courthouse, which is all the way in Cheyenne.
Oh,
So
God, okay.
it's all the way up here in Wyoming and like the top left corner if you're looking on the map.
Well, and it's
Versus
a
Cheyenne is
rectangle,
like,
so yeah.
yeah. Whereas Cheyenne is like bottom center. Like if I'm in Fort Collins, Cheyenne is maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like maybe 3 hours from where I currently live.
In
Cheyenne
Colorado.
is not far.
Right, right.
Yeah, going from Denver to Cheyenne, it's maybe 2, 3 hours, depending on how fast you drive and traffic.
Indeed, of course. Well, Kobe's in town.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Kobe's in town, so it's a problem.
it's gonna take a while.
Traffic everywhere. So basically, this would also ignore the right to a fair and speedy trial by an impartial jury of the state because it's not in the same district where the crime would have been committed. And you'd have to be going to this entirely other area across the entire state just to have the trial.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which,
So,
which again, because even then that courthouse isn't in the area in which the crime was committed,
Yeah,
but it's
because
like
we're
overseeing
technically in
it.
Idaho.
Right. Exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly.
You're like not even in the same state.
Mm-hmm.
But this jury would also have to consist of individuals from the area, and nobody lives there. So where would you even get this jury? Because nobody lives there. So there's no one available to be in this jury if something happened.
That's the big clincher I remember about this is they're like, yeah, you have to have it of people in the area, and there's nobody there.
So in theory, a defendant facing any felony or misdemeanor would be unable to have a constitutional trial and therefore
Oh.
technically could not be legally punished, regardless of if they are guilty or innocent. So
That's quite the loophole.
it is quite the loophole. And part of like why this is the way it is because Yellowstone was established as the world's first national park in
Oh.
1872
Oh, wow.
before Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana all became states.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So even
They
when the
didn't think
states
ahead.
were admitted in 1889 and 1890, each gave jurisdiction of their important portion of the park to the federal government. So
Okay.
technically, they are not in jurisdiction of their own area of Yellowstone. It's the government's problem.
Right.
And that's where it falls apart.
That's where so you
Mostly
have to
because
have
I feel like it's just so much more involved and gets weird.
my tongue is on fire.
Oh no.
So it didn't start very bad, and
Yeah.
then I ate 3, and I think I might just eat the ones that I have remaining because I'm also running dangerously low on shake. And
Yep.
I'm not sure that's a good idea, but I'm in a lot of pain. And I feel like I should just push through while I have like it's at the same time I feel like it's actually not as hot as I expected it to be, but it's all on the tip of my tongue and it's very uncomfortable. And I don't know why it's all there, but it huh.
What was the flavor again?
I believe it was just called The Wild. Because back in the day, their hottest one was called Blazin'.
I am
Oh,
trying to figure out
oh, like the Scoville count.
where
Oh,
where on the scale
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just called Wild.
wild. Okay.
That is. Oh God, there's 3 more.
I'm trying
Where
to
is it?
see because they have like the whole chart of like where stuff is mild and hot.
Right.
So I'm trying to see if compared to what I got, where those fall in with each other.
Oh, okay. Which one did you get again?
So I got a few
Oh,
because I was feeling it with the different sauce options.
yeah, for sure.
That and they had a special going where it's like, oh, you could get um
Oh, did you get the
what was it? You
boneless?
could get like I did get the boneless. So I got
Mm,
like 20 boneless wings and a side for like $20.
nice. Yeah, I did something similar.
I didn't even eat it all and I'm like, now I have food for tomorrow.
I have noticed that if you just keep eating them like really quickly, you don't even have time to register the heat. Although I am starting to sweat.
Okay.
And I will say this: until
So
it starts killing you, it's pretty tasty.
so
All
yours
right.
was spicier than mine. I went with the regular buffalo hot
Mm.
or hot.
Yeah, no, I deliberately
I
went to their
also
highest setting.
I also did spicy garlic, which felt just as
Ooh.
hot, or
Oh,
like the
okay.
buffalo hot. And then I did orange chicken, which I have no idea where that falls on the scale, but like not as hot. And then teriyaki because I was like, I need something safe.
Yep, that's what. Ah, whew. Oh yeah, the other one I got was orange chicken. Quite good. Yeah, no, I almost always get teriyaki. I occasionally do the Asian zing or the Parmesan garlic. Those are usually about as hot as I ever go.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was making my sinuses run.
I'm not sure that was the best idea. Oh, it's very hot. I shouldn't have drank all of the shake first.
That does not help.
That was a mistake.
I'm gonna use this as a little opportunity to take a little break
Okay,
because I
let's
need
do
more
it.
water at the bathroom.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Take a little break.
Mm,
Woo.
mm, mm. Oh, Craig. Oh, oh, you said this was going to be such a good idea. Oh, okay. Back in the zone. We got this. We got this, right, Craig? Craig? Craig, I might. Oh, God. Look, Craig, I might die, okay? This might be it. And I don't want to leave things the way that they've been, you know? I feel like you and I have had kind of an adversarial sort of relationship, but you know, the truth is, Craig, yeah, I love you. I love you, Craig. Yeah, I really do. Because, you know, like, there wouldn't be a podcast without you, Craig. Like, you are the podcast. And I don't know if it's just the emotion, being brought on by the beautiful sunny weather we've been having. It feels so much lighter, you know? It feels like a weight's being lifted from the just sad, dark grayness of long winter. It's been a long winter, Craig. It's been a long winter. And like I say, if this is it, I just wanted you to know. Actually, now I think about it, actually the Tums actually helped quite a bit. It's actually kind of calming down. Well, fuck you, Craig. try to goad me into fucking just ruining my whole evening. They're like, why don't you get 6 of the hottest ones? Why don't you go fuck yourself, Craig? Piece of shit, telling me like what to do. Trying to take over the podcast every time. You're like, why don't I ever get some airtime? It's like, well, because you never talk, Craig. Huh? Did you ever think of that? You want to be part of the team. You want to contribute so goddamn badly. Why don't you open your mouth? Just that black little line sitting behind your moon looking microphone. Son of a bitch. Oh. It's kind of coming back now. I didn't beat it, Craig. I'm sorry. That was very nice. I'm having kind of a hard time over here, man. It's kind of a roller coaster. I just shake. The water's not helping like it should. Although if you kind of hold it in your mouth, just like on the burning parts, it actually does kind of feel a little relieving. Like it might also just be that it's rather cool. I put the sink on like maximum cold, and it's working out pretty good. Oh, it is actually. I will say I've had other times where I've had really spicy stuff, and it just straight up like ruined my evening. And I'm gonna. Yeah, you just kind of like hold the tongue. You kind of crush them up, and you hold them like just kind of on the parts that are burning, and it seems to actually help. I mean, wow. Honestly, I'm kind of almost back to just normal. Like it's still a little bit on my lips, like because he didn't really hold any on my lips, but you were no help, Craig. You were no help. from beginning to end. I had to just ride that out myself. You could have with your judgmental little eyes just sitting there. You just nothing to say for yourself. Yeah, that water's good. That helps. Oh yeah, clear, crisp, fresh, Eau Claire water. You know what Eau Claire means, Craig? Not very learned, are you, Craig? Typical. Typical. What are you? Bear. Typical bear. Just all you care about is finding trout and salmon and whatever's in the river, right, Craig? Am I right? And that's why you've got your little blue teal kind of river color background. Because you're all like, I'm a bear. I'm supposed to be in the water. Where's my salmon? Meow. And then you're just here, and you're always here, aren't you? Well, I hope you get the blazing wings next time, you little shit. Judging me.
He just does what he wants.
Oh,
I don't know
God!
what my camera's doing.
How long have you been here?
Like maybe 10 seconds. Not long. My camera's just like deciding to not come back on, so
Oh no!
I'm gonna go without it for a bit.
Okay. It's
I don't know what's
kind of
happening.
rude.
I know. It was literally fine, and now it's like,
Yeah, like
I don't know.
with the whole thing so far, and it was fine. Give it another shot, see what happens.
We'll try it. So,
Yes.
how was this loophole discovered? This
Well,
is kind of the funny thing.
I was gonna say, I feel like this is the story that I've heard, and I feel like it involves some unaliving.
No, surprisingly.
Oh, man, I'm just wrong about this whole thing.
That's okay. So,
Aw,
this loophole was discovered by Michigan State law professor Brian C. Kalt,
Oh,
and that he was planning on writing an essay about the technicalities of the Sixth Amendment,
mm-hmm.
which, entitles everyone to a fair and speedy trial. And as he's writing this, he's like, I wonder if there could be this hypothetical place where there were not enough eligible people to form a jury. And
Oh,
this would then create like the zone of death theory out of it, because there could technically be no trial and therefore no punishment for major crimes that happened in that area, which is then how he found this section of Yellowstone National Park in Idaho.
so he just thought this up. Like, so he's
Yes.
just enough of like a legal nerd where he's like, I wondered if this could be a thing. And so he searched the country to find one specific spot. Oh man, I bet he lost his shit when he found that. He was so excited.
He was not happy.
Oh,
He was absolutely
no.
horrified that this like even existed, and was like, oh my God.
Oh,
The implications of this could be catastrophic.
Yeah.
So, as he was writing this essay, he then shifted his focus to writing one about this area, persuading the government to fix this loophole, basically to keep people from like committing horrific crimes and
Right.
basically seeing what they could get away with, because who's going to punish them?
Mhm.
And
There's nobody there.
we all know what people are willing to do and try if they think they can get away with it.
Absolutely.
It's, I say, you see it with kids when they're like, I'm going to just push this a little bit farther.
It's very much like cats.
Yeah.
They will push you.
I say that as mine is sleeping in his tower right now, living his
Aw.
best life.
Good boy.
That's what he does. So, this essay was called The Perfect Crime and was published in, I'm going to let you take a guess. It is way more recent than you think.
Just to clarify, you want a year, not like a publication?
Yes, a year.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take the recommendation of the error that your camera's giving, and I'm going to say 2012.
2005.
Damn it. Kobe!
Which is close.
That is
I
close.
said that's actually not too far off.
Well, and I don't know if you've been seeing that, but whenever your camera like isn't failing to give picture, it keeps giving a certain error, and I'm like, it says 2012, baby. I'm like, I'm going with that.
I mean, that's not too far off.
Sweet.
And this was published in
years.
Georgetown Law Journal. And he feared that criminals might read the essay and commit a crime in that zone before this loophole was addressed and fixed.
Well, hey,
So-
you know, you didn't have to write the article, bro. Could have just brought it to Congress right
Could
away.
have just said nothing.
Yeah, could have. Yeah. Hey, how about you don't publish nuclear war plans, like, just to the public? Maybe don't tell people how to, like, make a bomb or whatever?
I will state that his essay doesn't say that you would actually get away with the crime, but rather that getting persecuted for it would be difficult. And that a minor crime that doesn't require a jury, you would be persecuted, and that's just going to be the end of that. But any sort of like felony crime that is committed would also potentially be subjected to civil litigation, meaning you could still get charged for it, but it's going to be a lot harder than just doing a regular jury trial.
I'm still confused by the fact that he talks about how concerned he is with this article, you know, showing criminals what to do, when it's his article that he wrote and chose to publish. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
like, maybe just don't put it out there.
I mean, that would be one way to do it.
A fun fact, you weren't here, but I was telling Craig, if you ever have an insane amount of spice that is just destroying your mouth, crush up some Tums and just kind of let it linger in your mouth for like 10 seconds or so. It seems to work perfectly. It's pretty much all gone.
Good to know.
Yeah. So I didn't think it was going to work. It was a Hail Mary, but yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, the question is, what happens now? So we know this
Indeed.
loophole is there. And after discovering this, Kalt was working with Congress to close it, suggesting to lawmakers in Wyoming that the zone of death be included as part of the Federal District Court of Idaho instead of Wyoming, which would very easily fix the issue.
If I may make a prediction just on like what will be done to solve this, and if I may relate it to what, like, how the government seems to be operating nowadays here in 2026, I'm gonna guess that they do nothing.
Exactly. They said, fuck that.
Yeah, some things never change.
And specifically because they're like, well, the odds of someone committing a crime there is like so small.
Like, bro, like it's like not even an issue. So I don't even know why you brought it up.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
So then in 2007, C.J. Box, an author, wrote the novel called Free Fire that featured the zone. And he was hoping that this would increase government awareness of this issue, which he did succeed in with alerting Wyoming Senator Mike Enzi to the issue. But again, he could not get Congress to discuss it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that, like, it was brought to his attention in terms of, like, all the witnesses that he needed to silence. He's like, I know exactly where I can go to silence them. And I mean, he has been a serial killer ever since. Allegedly.
We truly have no idea.
That's true. That's why I'm saying allegedly. We don't know it's true, but we don't know it's not true.
As far as we are aware, there have not been any felonies committed in that area. Okay. But there do seem to be a lot of missing persons cases nearby.
Okay. Like people known to live around the vicinity, but they can't necessarily confirm that they disappeared in said death zone.
Yes.
Okay.
And the Idaho legislature has debated the issue and adopted House Joint Memorial 3, which calls on Congress to close the zone of death like loophole. And this was during a 2022 legislative session in which State Representative Colin Nash sponsored the movement. But again, nothing has happened. And surprisingly, Yellowstone officials aren't really worried that there is a loophole to close because the way they see it, it's all under federal jurisdiction anyway. So if there's a crime in this section of the park versus a more populous section, they're like, we're going to treat the crime the same because it's still a crime.
Right. Which is good call. Yeah, fair.
Yeah. And typically anything within the National Park Service it's all federal and they're working in assistance with the U.S. Attorney.
Okay.
So they're like, we don't really think it's that much of a problem, but like, okay.
It does seem like something that is worth taking the time to write a few sentences just to officially like close out that loophole. Like it feels like it wouldn't take that much work. It's not really like, because it's not like they're building a library or they're tearing down part of the fort. Like they don't really even have to do anything other than essentially just sign the bill and say, yup, let's close it.
If you're in this section, you're going to be tried in Idaho instead of Wyoming.
Right. Yeah. Like there you go. And
yeah,
I can understand maybe if like they're worried that somebody might try to like sneak something else through in a bill, which I personally feel should be illegal. Like I
agree. That should not be happening.
I understand that legalese can be very daunting and it can be very detailed and technical, but I also feel like bills don't need to be like 600 pages.
Yeah. And I also don't feel like if you're having a bill to cover one thing that there should be anything unrelated to it in it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like
you should
that
be able
doesn't
to just
make sense to me.
Right.
If I'm trying to get a bill in with healthcare, why are we talking about funding the military? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like
that is
those
something
things should not be related.
Yeah, that was
Unless it
another
is
thing.
in consideration with the VA, which is very different because that is again healthcare.
Right. Yeah. If there's some kind of tie-in, yeah, all right, that makes sense. But that was one of the first things I learned, kind of like becoming an adult, that made me pay attention a bit more to politics. Of like, I didn't know that could happen. You always hear about like these acts and like certain bills that are, they're going to the floor for a vote. Then you start hearing about how
single issue bills, the end.
Yeah, and because you hear that like, well, they didn't even read it, and I'm like, what do you mean you didn't read it? And they're like, well, don't you realize that these bills are hundreds of pages and stuff? I'm like, why are they so long? Shouldn't they? I mean, like, you should be able to just read the whole thing like on the toilet. They're like, well, and then you learn that a lot of that has to do with people just throwing in other stuff, and it's like, yeah, no, you shouldn't be able to just throw in anything on any bill for any reason. It should have to pertain to one thing. And I do also get that, like, the wheels of government turn slowly, but there's kind of a reason for that. And yeah, you should have to pay attention to each item. And it would just make people less interested in trying to sneak shit in. If you know it's going to be a bad bill or an unpopular thing, then guess what? It shouldn't get fucking passed. And you're an asshole. So yeah, the end.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So the zone of death does become a topic of discussion when certain things happen, like the disappearance of Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow when they disappeared. Even though they were found later in their backyard, when they first disappeared.
Alive? They were alive?
No.
Oh. Okay.
We'll cover that another time.
Okay. Enough tangents.
When they first disappeared, people thought that they might have been in this area in Yellowstone. Okay. And again, we see the same thing happen when Gabby Petito disappeared.
Oh,
and with Brian being like, oh, well, like we're in the Tetons. Or no, she was found in the Tetons. They were he was claiming that they were in California.
Oh, okay.
But when they're like, oh, like she's not in California, like she's probably near like Yellowstone. They're like, oh, she's probably like near the zone of death, and like we're never gonna find her. And she was found in the Tetons later, but those are nearby, so it like makes
Interesting.
sense why those
Okay.
conclusions are being made. And we're
Well,
gonna
yeah,
rewind a little bit
okay.
to
Back in the
December
way
of
back in the shop.
2005.
Oh.
So after Kalt publishes his essay,
Yeah.
this
The one that he was
poacher,
I was gonna say the one that he's afraid of someone getting an idea from.
yep, this person, Michael Bilderain, illegally shot an elk in the Montana section of Yellowstone, and he cited
Okay.
Kalt's paper to explain why it was illegal to have his trial with a jury from another state other than where the crime was committed. And the court was like, "Ha, that's cute. We don't care. We're
Yeah.
having this trial anyway. What you did was illegal. Go fuck yourself."
Well,
And he took a plea deal which waived his right to a jury trial and prohibited him from appealing the zone of death issue, rendering it an entirely moot point for his trial.
well, what the hell? I mean, I feel like if you're gonna raise that, that's when you lawyer the fuck up and you're like, no, this is what the law says. You know, I don't care if it's like a blatant loophole. It is a loophole, and this professor pointed it out, and I'm gonna use it. Not that I'm
Yep.
saying he should have gotten
And
off scot-free. I'm just saying if you're gonna raise the point,
and
go
that
all in.
is our story of the zone of death.
The zone of death.
Just a giant loophole that like actually does not exist, but like in a very difficult technical sense could.
I do very much like that. Part of it was just that the main, like the one main story we had that was involved with that, they were basically just like, yeah, we know, fuck you. Like we understand, and he thinks he has this
Yeah,
like
yeah.
brilliant out, and he's like, aha, but the
He's like,
loophole,
I'm
and they're
never
like,
getting convicted. And they're like,
yeah. The
eh,
gavel,
dummy.
the gavel goes down, and they're just like, yeah, we don't care. Go fuck it. He's like, but
Yeah.
Constitution. They're like, again, if there's anything 2026 and recent years have taught us, is that the Constitution doesn't mean anything. So there you go.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, we do not care.
Yeah. Someday in the future, you will vote in a candidate who does not give a shit and wipes his ass with the Constitution. So we're gonna start that right now. Fuck you. Go to jail. And then he did.
Yeah. They're not having it.
No, they're very much not having it. And some say you can still hear him rotting away in that prison cell.
Oh,
And you hear
absolutely.
you hear the call of the elk haunting him to this very day. Well, that was good. I was surprised that you ended up explaining that to me twice, and I forgot about it strongly. But it's still a good
That's all
story.
right.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up because I do enjoy being reminded of certain things that I know are crazy as hell, and I like that story has kind of the feel of a conspiracy theory, except like you can read up the laws yourself, and it's just totally real. But I also do like that the government was just like, ah, fuck you. You still did a wrong thing, and we're gonna prove that we will hold you accountable.
Yeah. Yeah, that is our story.
Well,
I
thank
do love that they're like, "Oh, you can get away with this, can you? Oh, watch me."
we don't think so. You
That's
go to
I
jail.
always think of there's this video Gabriel has shown me of this like martial arts teacher, and
Mhm.
he's just like, "Reach me with that hand, reach me with that hand. You cannot." That's like this type of stuff every time where they're like the government he's like, "Oh, I can get away with this." And the government's like, reach me with that hand, reach me with that hand. You cannot," and just like smacks him upside the head. That's just like all what I think of. And it's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna just be a dick to be a dick."
I was gonna say, well, he sounds kind of like an asshole. What the hell?
I mean, The U.S.
Yeah.
government is an asshole.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I've been getting very disillusioned the longer I've been an adult, and they do. Although I do still maintain the idea that like no government is inherently bad. Once you put humans in them, it gets fucked up. Like I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with our government in the sense that like if good people were involved, any of the problems we do have, we could try to fix. But it does seem more and more overwhelmingly that only mostly bad people are involved.
Yeah,
I do think there are still some good ones, but they seem to be very quiet and ineffective.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, and I just want to have our boring old government back. Where'd they go?
Yeah.
Yeah. But as we slide into this dark hole of tyrannical dictatorship, if you have any recommendations for us, either pairings or episodes, you can email us at peculiarpairingspod@gmail.com. You can find us on the app formerly known as Twitter at peculiarpairpod. You can check us out on Instagram at peculiarpairingspod, and you can also find us on Patreon. And also now YouTube
Yeah.
and TikTok. I forgot about that. And a tickety talk.
We are all over the place.
Yeah. So what did you think of a combination of mint milkshake and spicy wings?
I like it. It's I like it more in that I like having like the spiciness and then having something to kind of cool it off. I like
Yeah,
that.
and I know not everybody's a fan of mint, but I actually think that it
Oh,
was
I
a.
love mint.
I do
Mint
too.
is like my jam.
Yeah, and I don't know why I've never had a milkshake with something spicy, but I've also never really considered myself a fan of spice, and I must admit the antacid tablet thing worked pretty well, and I'm gonna give partial credit to the milkshake itself. This is the most like tame I've felt after having my mouth just like absolutely on fire. So overall, it was a pleasant experience, and I would give it a solid 8, just all the way around.
I
Not
would agree with
perfect,
that.
but very comfortably tasty.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Me too. And someday we'll get that guy from that show to talk to us about other things. That hot ones. That guy. And then he'll be like, "Do you want to come onto our show?" And we'll be like, "No, no, sir. We don't want to bore you with our tales of wings. But would you come to, would you come onto our show?"
Oh,
And
that
he'll be
would
like,
be absolutely wonderful.
"That'd be pretty wild. It would almost be Buffalo Wild."
It would. And something I would like to plug with
Yeah.
this episode is that we are going to be joining our wonderful friend
Oh
David
yeah.
on his podcast. And for anyone who does not know, I believe his show is it David Knows? Is that what it's called now?
Yeah, I always think of Down the Rabbit Hole, like because his Instagram handle is Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yes.
Okay, that's not necessarily the name of the show. Oh, we should look that up. I think we should.
I am checking it now because
Pretty
I
cool.
know his Instagram is Down the Rabbit Hole and his show I am double triple checking. David Don't Know. That's what it is. David Don't Know.
Oh, I didn't know.
So
Well, I didn't know, and now I'm happy to know. And
yes, so we're gonna
did
be joining him and we're excited.
did he mention anything about like the topic or anything?
I have absolutely no idea what it is, and I am very excited about that because
That-
I feel like I rarely get to go into anything blind. So
True.
getting
Yeah.
to kind of be on the other side of that is like very exciting for me.
Oh, I'm glad.
Just because I'm like, I get to experience something that I have no idea what's happening, and this is gonna be great.
Excellent. Well, yeah, that's how I like it. Then it's going to be a good time. But speaking of upcoming topics, do we know what we're going to be doing for our next one?
Yes. Which I feel like this is surprisingly fitting for what we just covered. We are
Oh.
going to be covering the Stanford murders.
Oh, just to clarify, not to be confused with the Stanford prison experiment. 'Cause
Yes.
I don't. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I don't think anybody got killed during that. But that was all right. Good to know.
No. We're covering a cold case and I'm excited about it.
Oh, okay. Very intriguing. Well, thank you for the story, Celine, and thank you all, everybody, for listening. And we hope that you'll join us for the future one, and we'll see you then. So, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Right then, guys, welcome to Let's Talk About. My name is Liam.
And my name's Billy. Every Sunday, we will be here to bring you episodes about all things weird, scary, and spooky.
We cover everything from ghosts, aliens, surviving a zombie apocalypse, true crime. We've even spoken about a talking mongoose. No topic is off limits.
Hey, don't you two be forgetting about us.
No, of course, there's no chance of forgetting about you two, is there? How's that experiment going?
Mind your own business.
Sorry, Igor. We've both actually been writing some scary stories of our own for Terrifying Tales. If you and your master want to read them.
We don't need your help, you stupid, worthless pair of...
Anyway, so this is Let's Talk About. You can listen every Sunday, 7 a.m. UK time.
And the last Sunday of every month, you'll hear from the delightful pair, Igor and his master, over at Terrifying Tales.
See you there.